Good morning, guys, and welcome to the studio. First off, I apologise that it's been a while since I've made a video. It's been, looks like it's been a month actually, which is awful, but I've enjoyed a 2-week holiday with my family for the first time in 5 years, and I have just not been in the studio. So I am back in the studio now. I've got a very busy 2 to 3 days. I've got to finish banging out all of these awesome Death Company, of which I have done a lot, and I'm just doing the detailing sections now. I've also got to finish a couple of competition entries for Euro, which is what you can see on the block in front of us at the minute. So on the block in front of us at the minute is the Tiny Leads Adventurers mini bust set, sculpted by my friend Piku, and they are awesome. He sent these to me as a gift a couple of years ago actually, and I've kind of been picking them up and putting them down and picking them up and putting them down, and I have decided that, you know, I'm gonna give them the love they deserve and just finish them off. So last night I did a bit of personal painting and got some time in on these. This morning I'm going to do a little bit more personal painting, and then I've got to spend the next 17 hours pretty much painting Death Company. So I thought it might be interesting to just talk you through these. So these are very typical to Piku style. Let me just move all these out of the way, in the fact that they're kind of cartoon style. So I can zoom in a little bit for you. The sculpts are really beautiful. They're sort of mega angular and really just nice to get to grips with. I have mounted them all on plinths from Bully's Wood, which is obviously my now retired plinth company, and I've put Celtic badges on all of them, and then as a nice touch I've painted a spot colour on each badge to, you know, represent a different member of the guild, or perhaps the Guild of Adventurers, or perhaps a different, you know, guild providing a member. So this guy could be the Warrior Guild or whatever, I don't know. So this is the Barbarian bust, and on the Barbarian bust you can see his lovely kind of Sylvester Stallone, very Adrian angled face. These are painted in cartoon style to match the busts. You can obviously tell that when you start looking at them. This tattoo is a Maori design. I literally copied off a photo off the internet. It was a bastard to do, but I'm quite pleased with it. Looks quite nice. He's got a savaged eye, so he's got a milk eye, and the light source for all of these is all top right, so they're very kind of high in contrast, so dark skin through to light skin. You'll always know it's one of mine buys as well if you buy one or see one around, because it'll have this on the back with the year it was painted. Okay, so there's the Barbarian. Next up we have the Elf, who's a proper miserable looking bastard. This is not a happy looking chap. It looks like Rodney out of Only Fools and Horses, if you ask me, but there you go. Nicholas Lyndhurst, I think the guy's name is. He's got a really lovely, extensively blended cloak, battered leather, and then he's got elven script all up, which you can't see unless it's in hand, all up his belt, and his hair is like a billion colours. He's the green adventurer, Bobs. This little fella is probably my favourite of the sculpts. This is a really good representation of a dwarven personality, actually, I think. So he is a dwarf, and he's obviously blue, and the plinths are all done to correspond with the size, so when they stand together he looks shorter than the others. He's got a really nice kind of similar green blended fabric, but the blue is, I don't know if you can actually see that, it's very nice. Haven't finished his hair yet, but he's coming along nicely. The finishing touches on this one are literally just hair, I think. Then we've got the Cad, or the Dashing Knight. This one really makes me laugh. I've called this one Alfonso, after my friend Alfonso Giraldez. I think this miniature captures his suave Spanish charm absolutely perfectly, to be fair. So Banshee, if you're watching this, there's a shout out for you. And he's got a little lipstick kiss on his cheek there, because, well, you know, if you're that gorgeous you would do, wouldn't you? He's got a non-metallic armour, but with heavy reflections on it, and I'm just finishing off the texturing of the fur before I move on and put the strikes on. So he's the yellow adventurer. And then last up is a really fun one to do, but very time consuming, and this is the miserable old Mage. So he's, let's see if I get a bit closer on him. He is rather lovely. There's an awful lot of colours woven into his face and skin and beards, but the thing that is really interesting is the cloak has been done, or his cowl has been done as a galaxy, which is, for any of you who know painting those freehand, is very, very time consuming, but it's come out alright. So you can see all the nebula and everything all over his cloak is looking suitably wizardy, and he's got a proper beady eye. Whenever I show you my miniatures on camera, the eyes will always look a little bit out of focus. That's because they're all gloss varnished or water effects. I do that on the lips, the noses and the eyes of all my miniatures, but in hand it just looks like a wet eye, so it's quite nice. Got to finish detailing his beard, adding strikes and texture to his beard. So on the wizard, I've got to finish the beard. On the barbarian, a little bit of tidying up with the lights. On the knight, I've got to finish the fur and a little bit of tidying up. On the dwarf, I've got to finish the beard. And on the elf, I've got to just tidy up the hair a bit more. Let me just arrange them as the guild, and you'll see what I mean in terms of the heights. Zoom out. There we go. So the plinth heights just represent the heights of the characters, which I just thought was quite an interesting way of doing it. Obviously the mage is a proper lanky old man. There you go. Okay, so that's just a quick update from the studio from me, and I have got so much to do, so I will load another video later on, probably involving large amounts of Death Company. Thanks as always for watching, guys. I love your comments. Please take the time to leave me a comment and ask any questions that you want to ask or anything else, and you can see these in the flesh at Euro at Folkestone on the 16th of September. Cheers, bye.